Good evening. Welcome to Rise IAS Raja Aula. Today our discussion is Yadavas of Devagiri. In the Indian history part, Yadavas of Devagiri, Hoysalas of Dwara Samudra, and Pandyas of Madurai were contemporary rulers of the Kakatiyas. So all these four medieval Hindu kingdoms did a valuable contribution to the culture of South India in general and their respective region in particular. But the lack of vision and unity among them led to the series of wars between one among the others. So that means they fought each other and they did not aware of the unity, political unity of the South India. Finally, this led to their downfall and the success of Delhi Sultanate forces. So these rulers made sincere efforts to serve their subjects as per the rulers laid down by the ancient political thinkers. Yadavas of Devagiri, originally they were the descendants of the feudatory nobles of Western Chalukyas, that is Chalukyas of Kalyani. Chalukyas of Kalyani. Yadavas of Devagiri, they ruled the present Marathi areas. They declared independence after the Rashtrakutas. They declared independence of the Rashtrakutas. Next, coming to the point of the name and etymology, thus name, origin of the name of the Yadavas. Yadava kingdom was originally called as Sauna dynasty. Sauna or Sevuna dynasty. This Sevuna dynasty claimed descendant from the Yadavas and therefore its kings are often referred to the Yadavas of Devagiri. The correct name of the dynasty, however, Sevuna or Sevuna. So inscriptions also, contemporary kingdoms inscriptions like Hosala, Kakatiya and Western Chalukyas, all these inscriptions they mentioned Yadavas of Devagiri as Sevunas. So this name probably it derived from the second ruler of the dynasty, Sevuna Chandra. He was son of Yadava king Drudaprahara. The Yadava king Drudaprahara's son and second ruler of the Yadavas dynasty, Sevunachandra, on that name, on the ruler Sevunachandra name, they got Sevuna dynasty. The Sevuna name was brought back into use by John Faithful Fleet in his book, The Dynasties of Kanaras Districts of Bombay Presidency, from the earliest historical times to the Musalman conquest of AD 1318. This book was written by John Faithful Fleet. So he used first time this name Sevuna. So that was the etymology of the dynasty. Next, coming to the point of origin of the Yadavas of Devagiri. The Savuna dynasty claimed descendants of the Chandravamsa Kshatriyas, that is Chandravamsa Yadavas of North India. As we know, the Indian kingdoms were divided into two types of the dynasties. Indian Kshatriyas were the Chandravamsi and Suryavamsi Kshatriyas. According to the Vratakanda, which was written by Hemadri, the Saunas were originally came from the Madhura and later moved to the Dwaraka in the Gujarat. From UP, Madhura, and originally they hailed from Madhura to the Dwaraka. Hemadri calls them Krishna Kulotpala Krishna Kulotpanna. That means the descendants of the Lord Krishna. The Marathi saint Gnaneswar describes them as Yadukula Vamsha Tilak. Yadukula Vamsha, that is Krishna related to the Yadukula Vamsha. Some Sevuna inscriptions call them Dwaravati Puravaradiswaras. Dwaravati Puravaradiswaras. That is masters of Dwaravati or Dwaraka. Dwaraka's other name is Dwaravati. So several modern researchers, Dr. Kolarkar also believed them Yadavas came from the North India. So North India is the origin of the Yadavas according to several historians. So Yadava dynasty, it raised from 12th century AD to the 14th century AD. It was Hindu kingdom of the central India. And now the states of Maharashtra, especially they ruled most part of the Maharashtra. So as we discussed that originally they were the feudatories of the Chalukyas of Kalyani. The dynasty became paramount in the Deccan under the Billama IV, who was founded Devagiri as his capital. So under the Billama's grandson Singana, the dynasty reached its height as the Yadava campaigned against Hoysalas in the south, the Kakatiyas in the east, and the Paramaras and Chalukyas in the north. So they fought all these kingdoms. Later rulers continued expansionist wars with varying success. During the reign of the last Yadava king, that is Ramachandra, he was a contemporary of Delhi Sultanate Alauddin Khilji. While Alauddin Khilji, he was a prince or he was a son-in-law of Jalaluddin Khilji during that period, during the Jalaluddin Khilji period, 1294, Alauddin Khilji defeated Ramachandra Deva in 1294 at the time of Jalaluddin Khilji as a Delhi Sultanate. After the defeat of the Ramachandra Deva accepted suzerainty of the Delhi Sultanates and also he accepted the tributary status. That means feudatory king. A later attempt to throw off vassalize brought another Delhi army. Ramachandra was imprisoned but was later released and remained loyal of Delhi Sultanates. Until the death of the Ramachandra Deva, he was loyal to the Delhi Sultanate. In further attempt, his son, that is the son of the Alauddin Khilji, he defeated Mubarak Shah. He defeated completely Yadava kingdom in 1317, ended the Yadava dynasty. The most important territory which they had under them was between Devagiri and Nasik. Though they have influence in the modern Maharashtra, northern Karnataka and parts of the southern Madhya Pradesh, but they concentrated more on the Devagiri, between the Devagiri and Nasik. So they were known as the founders of the Marathi culture. These Yadavas, they were founders of the Marathi culture. The name Sevuna has been used for them in the Hoysala and Kakatiya inscriptions. Next coming to the point of the Yadava rulers, the most important Yadava rulers like Billama. Billama, he was also called as Billama IV. The first of the Yadavas in this line to achieve importance was Billama or Billama V, who was established as the sovereign Sevuna kingdom and founded Devagiri in 1187. So Billama V, he was called as founder of the Devagiri in 1187. His territory was bordered by the Paramaras in the north, Kakatiyas in the east, Hoysalas in the south and Solankis in the west. So these were the borders of the Billama. The mighty Devagiri fort was 180 meters, was captured by Alauddin Khilji in 1294, was later plundered by Malik Kafur in 1307, 1310 and 1318, was an important landmark of his reign. Billama was killed in a battlefield while he was waging war with Hoysalas. Hoysala ruler Veela Ballala II defeated Billama, and the second great ruler of this dynasty was Singana II. Singana II, he ruled from 1200 to 1246. Singana was the most important, and he was considered as the greatest ruler of the Yadava dynasty. And he carried several military expeditions, and he carried out several conquests and expanded the kingdom from the banks of Narmada to Tungabhadra. He invaded Gujarat and other countries, made the Yadava kingdom matching in extent the realm of Chalukyas and Rashtrakutas. And Singana too, he founded a city called Singanapur. Singanapur. He was a great patron of learning and literature. He patronized many many poets. He patronized many poets. The great mathematician Bhaskaracharya, astrologer and mathematics Bhaskaracharya, celebrated in his court. Sarangadeva, a great author of Sangeeta Ratnakara, was an accountant in the court of the Singana too. So his work, this Sarangadeva's work, Sangeeta Ratnakara, it is considered to be the most important work on Hindustani as well as classical music. It speaks about, Sangeeta Ratnakara speaks about music. After the Singana, the next important ruler of this dynasty, Yadavas of Devagiri dynasty, was Ramachandra. Ramachandra, but he was not Lord Ramachandra. He was also called as Ramachandra Deva. Ramachandra Deva, he was the contemporary ruler of Alauddin Khilji and also Mubarak Khilji. There was a belief that Devagar or Daulatabad was built in 1203 by Dangar or headsmen, that is Yadava cowards, who acquainted by some unusual good fortune, vast wealth, and was named by his brother, that is shepherds Rajaram, and soon after assumed the rank of the Raja, that is Devagiri, also called as Daulatabad. It is also called as Dangar. Ramachandra, the grandson of Singana II. Ramachandra ruled from 1271 to 1309, this period. Hemadri was Ramachandra's, Hemadri or Hemapant. He was Ramachandra's chief minister, that is head of the ministers. Sri Karanadipa. Sri Karanadipa means chief minister of the Ramachandra. Hemadri, he compiled a Sanskrit work, was Chaturvarga Chintamani. It was compiled by the Hemadri. So he is said to have built many temples in a style well known him, Hemapanthi. So he also invented the modern script, Modi script, for the writing of the Marathi. Modi script is used for the writing of the Marathi language. Hemadri wrote many books on Vaidyaksatra, Vaidya Shastra, that is medical science. He wrote many books on the Vaidya Shastra, that is medical science. He introduced and supported Bajra culture. Bajra culture, it is very famous in the Maharashtra. In 1294, Alauddin Khilji, he captured, already we discussed that, during the time of the Jalaluddin Khilji, Alauddin Khilji captured Devagiri. Khilji restored it to Ramachandra in return for his promise of payment of high ransom and annual tribute. So after the defeat of Ramachandra Deva, he accepted to give war indemnity, that is war loss, huge war loss. However, this was not paid, and Sevuna kingdom arrears to the Khilji dynasty kept mounting. He promised to pay, but he failed to pay. That's why in 1307, again Alauddin Khilji sent an army commanded by Malik Kafur to the Devagiri. Ramachandra Deva was taken to Delhi, and Khilji reinstated Ramachandra Deva in return for the promise to help Khilji subdue the Hindu kingdoms of South India. So he accepted he accepted the suzerainty of the Delhi Sultanates. So then again resent to the South India. Ramachandra Deva resent to the South India by the Alauddin Khilji. In 1309, Malik Kafur mounted an assault on the Kakatiya dynasty from Devagiri. So Alauddin Khilji invaded Devagiri once when he was the crown prince. Already we discussed that. And Alauddin Khilji once again invaded the Devagiri in 1306. The invisible Malik Kafur was on the spearhead of the army. He was accompanied with Khwaja Hazi. The governor of Malwa and Gujarat were ordered to help Malik Kafur. The huge army conquered Devagiri almost without a battle. They captured the Devagiri. Alauddin Khilji appointed Raja Ramachandra Deva as a governor of Devagiri under the control of the Alauddin Khilji. He was given the title Rai Rayan, that is King of the Kings. Slowly after the Ramachandra Deva started the decline of fall of the kingdom. Ramachandra Deva's successors were weak. Ramachandra's successor Singanatri challenged the supremacy of Khilji, who sent Malik Kafur to recapture Devagiri in 1310. But Singanatri was killed in ensuring the battle, and Khilji's army occupied Devagiri. Later period, Muhammad bin Tughlaq subsequently renamed the city as Daulatabad. Devagiri renamed the city as Daulatabad. In 1317, finally, Khilji dynasty annexed the kingdom of Yadavas of Devagiri. Raja Ramachandra of Yadavas of Devagiri, akin to the Hoysalas, were destroyed by the Muslim invaders. Raja Ramachandra was the last sovereign Hindu ruler of the Deccan. So finally, this Yadavas of Devagiri ended their rule. One side invasions from the Delhi Sultanates. Another side they faced wars from the Hoysalas of Devagiri. So like this, by 1318, completely defeated, Yadavas of Devagiri were completely defeated. After the 1813, during the time of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, ended the Yadavas kingdom. Ramachandra Deva, like other Yadava rulers, was a pattern of art and letters. So celebrated many court poets. Next, coming to the point of the Yadavas administration. Yadava rulers followed the years of old traditional Hindu administrative system. The king was considered as a supreme head of the state. military head of the army, and judiciary head, fountainhead of the judiciary, fully loaded with powers. He was assisted by experienced and powerful, experienced and powerful military minister councils. Mahapradhani, Sandhi Vigrahaka, Mahaprachanda, Dandanayaka. Dandanayaka, he was minister of the military affairs. Were important ministers in the council of ministers. They helped to the ruler at the time of the critical positions. At the time of the critical positions, ruler the king would take the decisions or the advices of the minister council. The strong and efficient provincial and village administrative system was also created by the Yadavas of Devagiri. Central government exercised its full control over the local bodies. They controlled the full powers over the local bodies. And other situations of the country, agriculture, trade and commerce were encouraged. They encouraged agriculture and trade and commerce. Irrigational works were taken up by the state and local bodies. Land revenue was the chief source of the income to the state. Land revenue was almost 1/4 to the 1/6 of that period. And trade was also continued. Internal trade and international trade was continued. International trade was in a flourishing state of this period during the Yadavas period. The trade relations between the Telugu, Kannada, Marathi traders were continued. Migrations were a common feature. Migrations, trade migrations, labor migrations, occupational migrations were very common of that period. The Yadava extended many facilities to the traders. That means they helped to the traders. And coming to the point of the society of that period, the society was in a stable position. Caste system was continued. Chaturvarna system was continued. But Yadavas tried to foster communal harmony among their subjects by following liberal religious policies. They followed liberal religious policies. Brahmins were given respectable position in the society. This age was also witnessed the rise of great Marathi Bhakti saints. Bhakti culture, because of the liberal policies of kings, Bhakti saints, they started propagation, Bhakti propagation. Like Bhakti saints like Gnanadev, Janabhai, Namadev, Chakradeva, Tukaram, Ekanath, all these were belongs to the Marathi region. They tried to preach universal brotherhood and spirit of equality. The Bhakti saints, the main aim of the Bhakti saints to bring universal brotherhoodness and a spirit of the equality. Because most of the Bhakti saints, they hailed from the lower caste family, a lower origin. Marathi language was patronized. Many works were produced by the Marathi language, especially in the Marathi language Modi script. It is a script used to write Marathi language. The state language of the Maharashtra is Marathi. It is also known as Mudiya. Marathi is also known as Mudiya. The word Mudiya or Modi script is derived from the Marathi verb modne, which means break, to break. Thus, Modi literally means broken script. This reference is its following form with its rounded looping strokes, the rounded and looping strokes, all the features that lent themselves well to the script's swift production by scribes and on the paper. It has emerged in 1400s as a shorthand variant of Devagiri script used by the scribes. So scribes means the people those who are handwriting scribes. It shares number of features with and usually similar to that script. It is continue for its cursive feature, which allows writer to move from one character to the next in continuous form, thus minimizing lifting the pen from the paper for dipping in ink. That is a cursive feature. So if you write cursive feature, you will lift the pen after a long time, after the completion of the word. Otherwise, for every letter, you have to lift the pen. It was used until 1950 for writing Marathi. Now, Balbodh style of the Devagiri is main script used for the Marathi language. And Marathi literature, Yadavas of Devagiri, they patronized Marathi, which was their court language. Marathi was their court language, official language. Kannada may also have been court language during the Savuna Chandra's rule, but Marathi was the only court language of the Ramachandra and Mahadeva of Yadavas. So see, that is since from the 14th century AD, Marathi language it became very popular. The capital of the Yadavas, Devagiri became magnet for learned scholars in Marathi. It was center of the learning for the Marathi to showcase and find patronage for their skills. The origin and growth of the Marathi literature is directly linked with the rose of Yadava dynasty. So their reign also saw the literary development of Marathi. The origin of growth of Marathi literature is directly linked to this period. Billama, the founder of Yadava dynasty, although it was a grandson Singama who made the premier kingdom of Dakkan. Singama was the great patron of learning and literature. He established the College of Astronomy to study the work of celebrated astronomer like Bhaskaracharya. We can read about this magnanimous donations which are carved in a stone. So there is a inscriptional evidence. Slabs on the temple of goddess Kolhapur, Maharashtra. Composition of famous works like Hemadri, who was responsible for introducing the style of architecture also called as Hemapanti, just we discussed that. And Bopadeva and Dhaneswar, a prodigy who at the age of 16 translated Bhagavad Gita from Sanskrit to Marathi, Dhyaneswar. Perhaps the best and sweetest poetry ever written in Marathi language. He produced that. So all these were composed during the reign of Yadavas. Vitataba became the most popular god of the Marathas, that is Pandaripur Vittalanada became the center of the Vitaba culture. Vitaba cult also developed during the time of the Yadavas of Devagiri. The Billama was a son. Billama 5 son, Jaitrapala. Jaitrapala had Mukunda Raja, the author of Paramita Paramitra and Viveka Sindhu as a spiritual teacher. Paramitra is considered the first systematic attempt to explain the Vedantic principles of Marathi. So, in the Marathi language, it was the first book. Viveka Sindhu is another exposition of the Vedantic principles in the Marathi language. Mukunda Raja, the earliest works were composed in 1190. Mahima Bhatta wrote Leela Charita in 1238. So many Marathi poets, scholars were patronized by the Yadava kings like this. Next to that is the famous Marathi saint Dhyaneshwar wrote to Dhyaneshwari, a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. He wrote that book in 1290 during the time of the Ramachandra's rule. He also composed devotional songs called Abhangas. Abhangas means never ended. Dhyaneshwar gave a higher status to the Marathi by translating sacred Gita from Sanskrit. Dhyaneshwar, he translated Bhagavad Gita into Marathi language. That already we said. Dhyaneshwar at the age of the 16 years, he translated Bhagavad Gita into English. I will speak my Marathi only with pride, and I will give such Marathi words to the ardent listeners, which will even win best against the nectar. So he proudly said that. This sentence was said by the famous Marathi saint Dhyaneshwar. So Hemadri, already we discussed, he was the introducer of the script. Hemadri wrote to Chaturvarga Sintamani and Ayurveda Rasayanam. Next to Mukundaraya was another great Marathi poet and scholar. He wrote Viveka Sindhu. Mukundaraya wrote Viveka Sindhu, a work on the Vedanta. He wrote that book in 1188. And he was considered as, Mukundaraya was considered as the Adi Kavi in Marathi language. Chakradhara propagated Mahanubhava cult using Marathi as the medium for the religious teachings. And the Bhakti saints of this period, the Bhakti saints and their liberal preachings of the Yadavas period, they also played vital role for the development of the Marathi language. Marathi language is a regional language, vernacular language. And Bhaskaracharya wrote Siddhanta Shiromani, Karana Kuntaka. These works on the mathematics. He was a contemporary of Singama's contemporary. And Kavishwara Maheshwaracharya, he wrote Langutika, that was a book on astronomy. Next, Sarangadeva, who was in the, already we discussed that Sarangadeva, who was lived in the court of the Singama, he wrote to Sangeeta Ratnakaram, that is a work on the music. And Anantadeva, he wrote the commentary on the Varahamihira's Bruhas Samhita. Lakshmi Deva, he was a court educational officer of the Jaitugi, a Jaitugi who fought with Kakatiya Rudradeva. Jaitugi killed Kakatiya Rudradeva. And this Jaitagi's court educational officer was Lakshmi Dhara, that is Vidyapati. Hemadri, already we discussed that Hemadri, he wrote to Chaturvarga Chintamani, Dhanavakyavali, Ayurveda Rasayanam. These works were written by the Hemadri. And as well as they also developed Kannada literature. Many scholars believe that Kannada was a court language of the Sauna dynasty. Kamala Bhava, patronized by Billama V, wrote Santiswara Purana. Achanna composed Vardhamana Purana in 1198. These two were Kannada poets. And another Kannada poet, Amugideva. Amugideva, he was patronized by the Singana too, composed many vachanas or devotional songs. And Chandrasa of Pandarapur wrote Dasakumara Charita in the Kannada language. Dasakumara Charita originally was written by the Dandi. So almost all these books were, we discussed Anantadeva commentary on the Varaha Mihira's book. And coming to the point of the art and architecture of the Yadavas, as the companions of the Hindu culture, Yadavas encouraged the construction of many temples in various parts of the kingdom. They liberally gave donations to all the temples. Saivite and Vaishnavite temples were built by Yadavas. Both Saivite and Vaishnavite temples were built by the Yadavas of Devagiri. The Devagiri fortress were built by the Yadavas. That is a royal palace. And it is a example. The royal palace was an example. It is a good example of the Yadavas architecture. The Muslim invasions from the North India destroyed many Yadava temples between 1295 to 1318, that period. Destroyed many temples. And also the art and architecture. It got influence of the Chalukya and Chola families. Chalukya and Chola families. And that is Yadavas of Devagiri, they followed the Chalukyas art and architecture, Cholas and art and architecture. Yeah, this is about Yadavas of Devagiri. Good luck, and next we will come with another chapter for the discussion. Okay, good luck to you.